Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Steve Wells. Happy Thanksgiving. Today I want to talk a little bit about starting running. So whether you ran a turkey trot this morning and you're not in as good of shape as you thought you were, whether you're thinking about eating maybe an extra piece of pie tonight, I want to give you guys some tips for people that are just starting out running. So the first tip is just to get started. So come up with a plan, whether that is a detailed plan for a race, like a 5K or something that you want to sign up for, or whether that is just I want to run 2 miles 3 days a week. I've started before into training for a race or something like that, and my first day of training was an off day. So like if I'm making my schedule on a Sunday or something like that, and then my first day of the training program was a Monday and that was an off day, it makes it really hard to get into it. So I recommend, even if you're making that schedule on a Sunday night and your Mondays are going to be your off day, doing something on that Monday just to get your workouts kicked off. So my tip number 2 is to find people to run with. So if you can find someone else that has been considering starting to run, been considering doing a half marathon or even a 5K, something like that, a lot of times just having that other person that you guys are kind of answering to each other. If you're feeling lazy, they can motivate you. If they're feeling lazy, you can motivate them. So just having that other person to keep you company and help you get out the door every day is really important. If you're having trouble finding people, I'd recommend looking around your area for a local running store or running club that has free running groups, or even a paid training program that you can do, that is going to really get you out around other people, and it's not as intimidating as you would think. We have a lot of people in our training groups that go out and will walk 2 miles in our free run clubs, and meet friends through that, and you can have other people to run with that way. Tip number 3 is not to go too hard too fast. So a lot of people will want to start running, they'll walk out the door on the first day, run around the block as fast as they can, go back inside, and then the next day do the same thing, and then the next day do the same thing, and then a couple weeks in, they're injured and they're sick of doing that because it hurts so much, they're sore, that kind of thing. So what I recommend is starting off a little bit easier. You can even do walk-run intervals. You can plan them out, or you can just say, I'm going to run to that light post down the street and run down there and then start walking again. Whatever you're comfortable with. But try to focus on your technique and form. So look up what proper technique and form is like for running, because running is really the only sport that people think that doesn't matter for some reason, but it really does, and you can prevent a lot of injuries by having proper form and make your movement a lot more efficient by having proper form. Something else to consider is maybe not just running. So maybe you're going to be running 3 days a week, you're going to be running Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that. Mix in on those other days a little bit of strength training. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy, maybe just some one-legged squats, something like that, to strengthen all of those other muscles, and that way you're going to be preventing a lot of injuries and you'll be able to stick with it for longer. Another part of not going too hard that a lot of people kind of gloss over and isn't really that well known of a thing is kind of staying in your aerobic range instead of getting up into your anaerobic range. So if you're in a lower aerobic range, so you're not breathing super hard, your heart rate isn't too fast, you're actually going to be burning more fat. So if that's your goal, that is where you want to be. and it's also going to prevent buildup of lactic acid in your muscles, so you're not going to be as sore the next day. So my tip number 4 is to invest in some gear, but look at the importance of the gear you're investing in to begin with. The 3 main things that are going to be most important pieces of gear whenever you're starting running is your shoes. So having a pair of shoes, not just that someone said is a good pair of shoes. So I get in the store a lot of times, what's the best shoe? And is Brooks the best shoe? That kind of thing. But if you're not in the right shoe for you, then it's not going to be the best shoe. So the best thing to do is to go down to whatever your local running store is, get fit for shoes, not worry about if they're ugly, if they're bright green, anything like that, if they're going to be the right shoes for you. Second thing that you should invest in is some good socks. So getting out of your cotton socks, cotton shirts, that kind of thing are not that big of a deal to me. I don't usually wear them, but if I run in a cotton shirt, it's not a huge deal, especially if I'm doing 2 or 3 miles. But having that cotton on your feet really does make a big difference. So they're going to be a little bit less comfortable than synthetic socks or like merino wool socks or something like that. They're going to absorb sweat and keep your feet soaking wet, hold that sweat against your feet, and cause blisters. So the 3 things you need to cause a blister are heat, friction, and moisture. And cotton socks keep all 3 of those things around your feet at all times. So switching into synthetic socks, having properly fitting shoes, you won't get blisters. So after switching into all synthetic socks and having shoes that fit properly since high school, so in the last probably 6 years, I think I've gotten 1 blister, and that's over thousands of miles. I've gotten 1 blister, so blisters don't need to be a part of running. If you have the right gear, it really shouldn't be happening. And then the next thing that is an important piece of gear that you should be looking at is underwear. So people don't talk about it a lot, but having the correct underwear. So I wear compression shorts under all of my shorts. Some people have success with line shorts. I don't like shorts with liners in them because they never quite work right for me. And for women, having probably something underwear that's seamless, something that is a synthetic material, so not wearing like cotton underwear will make a big difference for you. And having a properly fitting sports bra as well. So something that's going to give you adequate support, and also that's something that fits you properly. So you can also, when you're getting your shoes, talk to whoever's in the store, and they'll be able to fit you for a sports bra as well. Make sure you're in the right size, and also you shouldn't have to be wearing 2 or 3 sports bras to get adequate support. You should only have to wear 1 if you're wearing the right one. And then tip number 5 kind of goes along with having the right gear, but go out and buy a foam roller, please. I have so many people coming in the store saying, what shoe is going to make the side of my knee start feeling better? My hips are hurting, my Achilles hurts, I think I have plantar fasciitis. No, you're probably just not using your foam roller. There are so many things that could be fixed, so many injuries that could be solved by using your foam roller at least once a day. I usually try to do it once or twice a day, before my workout, after my workout, whenever I think about it, whenever I think anything feels a little bit tight. And what's important about foam rolling is to do it before you get an injury from not doing it. You need to do some research, learn the right way to use a foam roller. They're not that expensive, and it will save you a lot of money in the long run, going to the doctor, going to physical therapy, and not being able to run because you weren't staying loose and taking care of yourself. Some people don't use foam rollers because it is uncomfortable to use them, but if you think about it, which is more uncomfortable, rolling out a knot in your leg for a couple of minutes, or not being able to walk because you caused yourself an injury? Stay loose, take care of yourself, and you'll be able to keep running for as long as you want to. So those are my 5 tips for beginner runners. I hope you guys get out there and have fun doing it, and make sure you take care of yourselves while you're ramping up that mileage. So if you're not already, be sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next week.